that when you do what you love in different chapters of your career, it will really keep you a happier person, because it's like that's where you're comfortable at. And don't be afraid to go into those different chapters. But we're going to take you down a little bit of memory lane and let everybody know a little bit about your story. So you were born in the Bronx and raised in South Carolina. Now, how did you navigate your way into the game of basketball?
Ironically enough, when I was younger, I had zero interest in playing sports. I wasn't trying to miss
No.
my hair or my nails. Just chilling, having a good time with my friends. But my father was a huge sports fan. He was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, loved Franco Harris, and he loved the Lakers. So I grew up watching Magic and, Kareem and just all the guys with the Lakers. So I loved the sports, but I just didn't have any interest in playing it. Unfortunately, my father was diagnosed with cancer, and when he passed away, I just took a turn for the worse, just getting into all kind of stuff. But eventually I was offered an opportunity to play sports, and I looked at that as an opportunity to bond with him, even though he was no longer here, a way to have a connection. And I started playing basketball in the 10th grade, and I fell in love.
Really?
Yes.
You didn't start playing basketball to the 10th grade? You're not one of like, girl, look, I was in the backyard trying to get my father's attention. Me and you have that in common. I'm a daddy's girl. My dad he passed away too. But my dad was just my favorite guy. And he introduced me, to basketball and sports. I remember watching boxing, Muhammad Ali, watching football growing up. And, for girls, that's your way to bond with your dad, because,
Absolutely.
most dads really love sports. So did you not pick up a basketball to the 10th grade?
I didn't do anything athletic until then.
Wow.
Once I started playing, like yourself, I played volleyball, I ran track, but my first introduction for real to the game was when I was in the 10th grade. Of course, when I was little, I played in the streets, not even basketball, but I played football in the streets with my cousins.
What?
Yeah. None of those sports that I played in high school had I been involved in until I started playing in high school.
Now, can I ask this? You were in the 10th grade. Were you tall?
Oh, yes. I've always been. So they used to chase me around like, hey, tall girl, come here. And I'd be like, I would run off and be like, I don't want to play. I don't want to play. But it really came to the point where basketball was the thing that ended up saving me from myself, because I had gone into a space after my father passed away where I wasn't being productive.
Yeah, it happened, Yeah, but something about his spirit came to you and made you want to do the right things in his memory. And that's
Absolutely.
beautiful, So now can I ask, when you did started playing, did you have to go like reserve to varsity, or did you just go jump straight into varsity?
I played JV and varsity, and I was
Okay.
tall, so the one thing I could do was rebound. I could get the ball and I'm gonna pass it to you, then I'm gonna run down there. You can shoot it. I'll get it, pass it back to you. I wasn't shooting, I wasn't dribbling or anything, but I was working out with my coaches. I would come in the morning, and I saw myself getting better. So the more I
Yes.
worked, better I got. Then I fell in love with the process of seeing what my work ethic and how it could lead me to something greater. So I would get up in the morning, go to school early and practice, go to class, practice with the team. When the team would leave, I would stay in the gym. So I fell in love with it, and I just could not be as sorry as I was, because I was tall, but I was not good. So I worked on it, and my goal was to go to college on a scholarship, and I knew that's the only way it would happen.
Now, you were one of the top student athlete recruits in the state of South Carolina as a senior. What schools tried to recruit you, and how did you go about choosing what school was going to be right for you?
It was such an incredible process being recruited by all these schools. My dream school was the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
Yes.
It was Carolina Blue. And I was recruited by Stanford, Harvard, Duke. Everybody
Wow.
me, except for Gino at Connecticut and Pat at Tennessee. So,
No way. Now, why
those
didn't
are
Pat and
two
Gino come knocking?
I don't know, but I definitely was, it helped me later on.
Oh, in what ways? Tell me.
Just that it made me want to work even harder and understand that I had to do better, because if the top two teams were not calling for me and everybody else was, I wanted to know what I didn't have that, I wasn't able to pull them. But I did get my dream school. So North Carolina, I remember specifically. And
Yay. Okay. Look, I got on
age.
North Carolina blue,
I
blue
see you got that Carolina blue, that tar heel.
with the nails.
But